All right, so as you all can see, we have a lot moving around this morning. We are finally settled in, we're ready to roll. So let's get started. So this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We'll extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, please don't talk during court. There's a lot of you here, but we are very good at this, but we can't do it if y'all are having sidebar conversations. And frankly, I won't have any patience with it. So please remain silent. Let us do our stuff. Let us get you back to your lives as quick as we can. I assume we're all in agreement. That is an admirable goal. So, all right. Nobody is virtual. Thank goodness. All right, cell phones. So this is the number one distractor in our courtroom, and frankly, one of my biggest pet peeves. So everybody, I asked you to turn them on earlier to do those instructions. So everybody pull your phones back out and make certain at this moment that they're off. So I asked you to turn them on earlier. I'm asking you to turn them off at this point. If you didn't get a chance to finish, don't panic. You'll get a chance when we take a break to turn them back on and finish those instructions. But as you all are well aware, I can't hold court while your phones are out there pinging, demon, chirping, and whatever phones do. Okay, this is the correct courtroom for you. If you were issued a citation here in Spalding County, very likely by a Georgia State Patrol trooper, and that citation directed you to appear today. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, you can speak to one of the bailiffs, show them your paperwork, and they will point you in the right direction. Today is what's called your arraignment date. It means that I'm going to go over your rights with you, and I'm going to tell you your options, and then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. Now, here are your options. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors sit in that box over there to your left and decide guilt or innocence on your charges. You can also have a bench trial. That's where you give me permission to make that decision with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And then if you don't have an attorney and you wish to have an attorney, you can ask me for one and I will point you in the right direction. Everybody's charges here are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. All right, everyone here has the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County, again, make the guilt or innocence decision on each of your charges. Again, you can choose a bench trial. That's where I make the decision with no jury present. You can waive your right to a trial if you so choose and close your case with a plea. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. You have the right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. And if you remain silent, that silence cannot be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you can apply today with the Public Defender's Office. Now, this is your warning, and I'm amazed at how many people test me on this. If you do not take action ASAP to secure the services of the Public Defender's Office, you will very likely hear me say at the next court date that you have waived the right to apply for their services. Okay, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what your charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf, make objections, protect your record, appeal any convictions, and otherwise work to protect you. Now, it is my responsibility to explain the different options for you if you are entering a plea. One of these is first offender and conditional discharge. Now, how these work is they allow you to enter a plea without being convicted, but you only get one of each for your entire life. Now, first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs, and conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. All right, nolo contendere. This applies to almost all of you here today. We call this a nolo plea for short. It's where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt on most all traffic charges. Again, no DUIs. You get one NOLO every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A NOLO will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It will not help you much if you're under 21. All right, if you are here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, it is my job to explain this weird old law called habeas corpus. We've all heard the term before, so here's how it works. We call it habeas for short. For our purposes here, here's how it works. If you're convicted of these charges by any method, doesn't matter, plea, trial, doesn't matter, you may sue Spalding County over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window to use those rights before they expire. You may conference today with the solicitor's office, and if you're representing yourself and that's what you want to do, you'll announce a conference when your name is called. You'll remain here in the courtroom. If you have an attorney, your attorney will very likely announce conference on your behalf. Now, the solicitor's office, again, that's this group up here to your left, they represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement with the solicitor's office, you may resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement with them, you've waived nothing and you've given up nothing and you just say no thanks, get with the bailiffs. They will have you sign a reset notice and we'll move you out the door. Now, if you are here today and you wish to close a payable ticket without a trial, ask for a conference and talk to the solicitor's office and they'll explain the 3 options. The 3 options are, number 1, if you have the fine amount in full and you just wish to pay it, you can go do that. Number 2, if you don't have the fine amount and you wish to close your case, then you can enter a plea, be placed on probation, which will terminate upon completion. So those are 2 bookends of the plan. There's a 3rd option that we added in the middle in January, and it's been a wild success. What this is we call this our 30 for 30 program, and it means you don't have the fine amount, but you don't want to be placed on probation, and of course you don't want to go to trial. And so how that works is you will enter a plea just like normal after negotiating it with the solicitor's office. It'll be a probated sentence. However, upon entering the sentence, I will order that your sentence be delayed, the start of your sentence be delayed by 30 days. And then for the next 30 days, if you pay your fine in full plus a $30 program fee, 30 for 30, totally did not take that from ESPN, then you will be able to close your case successfully. If 31 days hits and you haven't closed your case, no problem. Your probation starts at that point, and you'll still very likely be terminated upon completion. You'll just need to follow those instructions to get it closed. This has been a wildly successful program. We've gotten very, very good feedback on it. All right, if you receive probation today, you need to know that you will be supervised by Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. There will be a one-time $25 intake fee on your case. You need to know that 100% of all fines will be waived off on probation cases with community service work at $10 per hour. There is a $50 per month supervision fee for all probation cases. Now, that supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, for those of you who choose to move your case to a trial calendar, listen up because you need to plan ahead. For those of you who request a jury trial or bench trial, all trials go on the same 2-week trial calendar. There will be a calendar call in week 1 where you'll come and go through the calendar. Then everyone will skip a week in the middle, and then the jury trials and bench trials begin at 9 a.m. sharp on the Monday of week 2. You will appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will use 2 or 3 courtrooms in week 2, and we will reach your case for trial. All right, we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So here's the deal. If you recognize a name today, which you very likely will, and they are failed to appear, call them, tell them to get down here ASAP, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, so we're about to call the calendar. The way this works is Assistant Solicitor Tony is about to actually call the cases from the table up there. When you hear your name called, stand up. There's a lot of you out there, and I need to know who I'm addressing. If you're not able to stand up, that's okay. Wave your hand real high and get my attention. If you have an attorney, remain silent. Otherwise, you're going to stand up and announce very loudly in the following. I'm going to leave this up on the screen. So you're gonna stand up when your name is called and you're gonna yell out real loud either jury trial or bench trial or conference or attorney. And I need to add that if you are under 20, raise your hand if you're under 21. Okay, just a little handful of you. When y'all announce, I need you to know that because Georgia traffic law treats you under 21 folks differently than everybody else. So we need to know that in factoring what to do with your case. Okay, anything else? All right, so remember, stand up and announce real loud what you want to do. There's options on the wall. The floor is yours.
Jacqueline Aguilar, conference.
Thank you.
Clyde Alexander. Clyde Alexander, request failure to appear. Vera Alford.
Yes.
All right. What would you like to do with your case, Ms. Alford?
I'm gonna pay, but I don't want any points.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a conference because those two work in different directions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Conference.
Natasha Allen. Allen, request failure to appear. Axel Arroyo Perez, request failure to appear. Jesse Atkins, request failure to appear. Lauren Bailey, request failure to appear. Victoria Baker, request failure to appear.
I think she stood up. Are you Victoria Baker?
Yes.
What would you like to do with your case?
I'm not really sure.
So if you're not sure and I have to pick, I'm gonna pick jury trial. Do you want to try to resolve your case today? Do you just want me to move you towards trial? Somebody else may be having this question, so I don't mind having this conversation early. If your last name is Z, I'm gonna expect you to have figured it out by then. Okay, go ahead. Do you have something particular you're wanting to do with your case? Like work it out, or have me move you to trial, or get an attorney?
I don't want to pay because I don't feel like I committed the crime, so I'm not sure what.
Okay, so if you don't want to work it out, which is what I just heard, that is a perfectly okay answer.
Okay.
But then I need to ask you, do you want to have a jury trial where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide your case? Or do you want to do a bench trial where I decide it? And I just want to tell you again, I don't have a preference. Whichever one you pick is fine.
The bench is fine.
Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you down for a bench trial. If you want to talk to the public defender's office, you still can. I'm going to have you step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs. They're going to bring you your bench trial form and they're going to bring you a reset for your next court date. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, you'll step out in the hallway, but don't leave until the bailiffs talk to you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cody Barkley. Barkley, request failure to appear. Brody Beeching.
All right, bench trial. You're gonna wanna talk to the public defender's office. This is not a payable ticket. It's a fleeing and attempting to elude. So, all right, I'm gonna have you step out into the hallway. I'm gonna have you sign a bench trial form and a reset notice. So don't leave until the bailiffs have come out and talked to you in the hallway. I mean, do you want to have a conference and talk to the solicitor's office, or do you want to do a bench trial?
I would just like to pay like $1,100 for a ticket.
Okay, let me just put you down for a conference, because I think he needs a little information. He's clearly, no. All right, so, go ahead.
Cedric Beatles. Beatles. Request failure to appear. Samantha Bell. Request failure to appear. Miguel Bernardo. Request failure to appear. Melissa Boaz.
Comfort.
Thank you.
John Booker.
Okay, thank you.
McCartier Bowman. Bowman. Request failure to appear. Joey Brackett.
Take a conference.
All right, thank you. Bless you.
Judge, you mind if I go ahead and start?
So we're very good at doing multiple things at the same time. Mr. Shepherd's gonna call, the conferences, so we can go ahead and start doing two things at the same time. Do you wanna make any other announcements on that, Mr. Shepherd?
Just when I call your name, what's gonna happen is you go through these double doors over here to my right, your left, and you'll meet me and Miss Fletcher here in the yellow shirt on. We'll follow her down to my office and we'll start conferences with you. When you're done with your conference, and this will apply to everybody, when you're done with your conference today, you're gonna come back down to the courtroom. It's in the same hallway through these double doors, quietly have a seat here in the courtroom, okay? All right, so Jacqueline Aguilar, Vera Alford, Brody Beeching, Melissa Boas, John Booker, and Joey Brackett. If y'all meet us out here in the hallway, we'll get started on y'all's conference.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherd.
Thanks, Judge.
You all don't know this, but this is, I'm the luckiest judge in the state of Georgia. I have the most amazing team in every direction I look. And we're very good at being respectful of people's time and getting you all back to your lives, because I assume no one really wants to be sitting here hanging out with us. Yeah, not knows universally. So we're gonna get you all back to your lives as quick as we can. So, y'all are doing a great job. Keep working with us and we can get you back to your lives, in a very reasonable amount of time. All right, Ms. Tony, floor's yours.
Brandon El Sharif. Brandon. Request failure to appear. Cedric Brown. Request failure to appear. Shannon Brown. Request bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Granted.
Caldera.
All right. What would you like to do?
Pay.
Okay, I'm gonna, I shouldn't pay. No, it's driving without a license. She needs a conference. Sorry, I missed the second charge. That's on me. Conference. All right, conference.
Irma Camacho. Request failure to appear. Leonard Camp. Tremonte Campbell. Request failure to appear. Christina Carney.
Conference.
Crystalline Carter. Request failure to appear. Crystal Chambers. Request failure to appear.
Actually, y'all normally request a warrant on that one. It charge two.
You're
They're in reverse order than they're normally in.
Yes, request bench warrant.
All right, that's good.
Chantra Buddha. Chantra Buddha. I may be butchering that name.
No,
Okay. Request bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Right.
Cheshire Romedale.
Ronnie Dale Cheshire.
Oh.
She's got
Oh, so sorry.
handwritten
This
tickets.
one's
I have the
handwritten.
printed calendar. I'm cheating. So,
I want jury trial, please.
all right. Are you gonna wanna talk to the public defender's office?
I can.
Okay. All right, that's your responsibility. If you will step out into the hallway, please, but do not leave until the bailiffs come see you. They'll have you sign your paperwork and get you on your way.
Timothy Choke.
Conference, thank you. How do you say your name? Name's important.
Name?
How do you say your name?
Timothy.
Timothy, okay.
Kentavious Clark. Request failure to appear. Calvin Clemens.
Conference.
Thank you.
Devontae Clemens. Request failure to appear. Frankie Coates. Request failure to appear. George Collins. Request failure to appear. Kenneth Cook.
Conference. All right, thank you.
Taylor Cook. Request failure to appear. Mauricio Cox.
Conference.
Thank you.
Pablo Coya. Request failure to appear. Russell Cruz. Request failure to appear. Sierra Crosby. Request failure to appear. Sierra Davis. Request failure to appear. Dustin Day.
Conference. Thank you.
Diaz Madej. Request failure to appear. Dones. Let's see.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Jeffrey Downey. Downey. Request failure to appear. Ronald Drake. Request failure to appear. Hiram Duffy. Request failure to appear. Calvin Edge.
Conference.
All right, thank you. Conference.
Nicholas Elliott.
Vince Carl?
All right, are you gonna want to talk to the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right, if you will step out into the hallway, please, but do not leave until the bailiffs come talk to you.
Okay.
Stanley Evans.
Conference.
Thank you.
Lindsay Falanga.
That's true.
All right, are you gonna want to talk to the public defender's office?
No, sir.
Are you waiving the right to apply?
Yes.
All right, if you will step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs to come speak with you.
Jose Farini Zambrano. Request failure to appear. Ashley Fierro Molina. Request failure to appear. Stephen Fleet. Request failure to appear. Tony Flornay. Request failure to appear. Edward Folker. Request failure to appear. Audrey Gaydon.
Waiver.
Oh, okay, it's Patrice Scott's case.
Michael Giordina. Request failure to appear. Christopher Godby. Request failure to appear. Charles E. Godowns. A request failure to appear. Gomez Aldo. Request failure to appear. Kurt Griffin.
Conference.
Thank you.
Mary Guerin. Request failure to appear. Jarrett Gunn. Request failure to appear. Kelsey Hammock. Request failure to appear. Terrell Hargrove Jr. Request failure to appear. Brandon Harris. Request failure to appear. Kelly Harris.
Conference.
Isaiah Harrison. Request failure to appear. Earl Hawkins. Request failure to appear. Abigail Hennessy. Request failure to appear. Beyonce Hightower. Request failure to appear. Gracie Hinton. Request failure to appear. Kendall Hornsby. Request failure to appear. Julia Jackson. Conference.
All right, thank you.
Paris Jadore. Request failure to appear. DeAndrea Jeffries. Request failure to appear. Shesma Jenkins.
They were late, they reset.
Okay, so it's officially a failure to appear, and then it's late, so I'm gonna lift that. They've used their one failure to appear, just to say that out loud. And that way they get it. But that way there's a record that, I'm just saying they're late, so they used their one failure to appear, so the next time it'll be a warrant. And I reset them for a jury trial,
Oh, it's been reset.
or for an arraignment, which is
I reset on the trial.
perfect.
I marked it late, reset.
Great. So
Reset.
clerk's office took care of all of it.
Candace Jenkins Burke.
She was late also.
Okay, same announcement.
Joshua Jensen. Request failure to appear. Ada Johnson. Request failure to appear. Clay Johnson. Request failure to appear. Alexander Jones.
Conference.
Thank you.
Marshall Jones. Request failure to appear. Michael Jones. Request bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Granted.
Brianna Jordan.
Conference.
Thank you.
Armonica Kemp. Request failure to appear. Actually, yes, request failure to appear. Sorry. Timothy Kennedy. Request failure to appear. Hannah Kirkley. Conference.
Thank you.
Destiny Lancaster Slaughter.
That's you, ma'am?
No, my ticket was postponed, they tried to move it off, but they just did it on the first and I'm Kilgore,
Oh,
and they sent it back up, I just wanted to,
yeah, we'll come back to you. I've got an announcement at the end that'll sweep you up, so we're good.
Okay.
Just sit tight. All right, so we're on to Destiny Lancaster Slaughter. No?
Request failure to appear. David Langford. Request failure to appear. Kevin Langy. Request failure to appear. Autumn Lassiter. Inda Lattimore. Request failure to appear. Brandon Lawrence.
How old are you, Mr. Lawrence?
31.
Huang Lee.
Conference.
Thank you.
Nicholas Lemons.
Conference.
Lavau. Sumalia.
Conference.
How do you say your first name?
Saul.
Saul. Conference.
Kenita Little. Request failure to appear. Darquez Lloyd. Request bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Granted.
Michelle Mancia. Request failure to appear. Angel Martinez Alvarado.
Conference.
Thank you.
Frederick Marks. Request bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted.
Matthews Dahim. Request failure to appear. Jason McBean. Request failure to appear. Brady McClendon.
Conference.
Arcabius McClendon. Request bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Minute.
Elizabeth McDaniel. Request failure to appear. Alan McDowell. Request failure to appear. Jesse McMichael.
Conference.
Thank you.
Jesus Melkor.
Conference.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Give me just a second. I have 2 Melkors. Okay, now I'm ready.
Wykevius Middlebrooks.
Conference.
Andrew Miller. Request failure to appear. Francis Miller. Request failure to appear. Justice Minnis.
They were late.
They were late?
Yes.
Okay, so failure to appear, late, lifted, jury trial.
Christopher Mitchell. They request failure to appear. Maurice Mitchell.
Pinstripe.
All right, do you want to talk to the public defender's office? You do? Okay. If you'll step out in the hallway, wait for the bailiffs, they'll have you sign your paperwork and get you on your way.
Moody Dinkamara.
I couldn't hear the answer.
Conference.
Oh, sorry.
Jabricia Morris. Request failure to appear. Tyler Motley. Request failure to appear. Braden Mullins.
Reese said, also they were late.
All right. So failure to appear, late, lifted, jury trial.
Terrence Mullins.
Thank you.
Timothy Murray.
Thank you.
Ronaldo Negron.
Is that you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not from this state, I'm from Illinois, so I want to try to get everything done today.
Okay, he has 2 cases is what he's hinting at,
Oh.
so if we'll just grab both of his cases and put them down for conference. You ready? Okay, so like I said, we're very good at doing 2 things. If you all will listen to your names and head out those doors when they're called.
All right, if I call your name, if you'll go through these double doors and meet Miss Fletcher in the hallway. Norma Caldera, Christina Carney, Timothy Choate, Calvin Clemens, Kenneth Cook, Mauricio Cox, Dustin Day, and last name Doans, or Doanes.
Again, y'all, I'm the luckiest judge in the state of Georgia. I got the best teams in every direction, and they are taking very good care of y'all. So, okay.
Pedro Nunez Tinoco. Request failure to appear. Jeremy Ogletree. Request failure to appear. Okusanya Adebayo.
Call fresh.
Thank you.
Tariq Palmer. Request failure to appear. Mia Parker. Request failure to appear. Derek Parrott. Request failure to appear. Lester Patron.
So that is James Dutton's case. There's a waiver. So waiver, jury trial, Dutton.
Alicia Pearson. Request failure to appear. Jason Pender. Request failure to appear. Rontavious Pope.
Pope.
Robert Price. Request failure to appear. Miyoshi Raglan. Request failure to appear. Brandon Ridley. Request failure to appear. Eric Roma. Request failure to appear. Rachel Ruth, conference.
Thank you.
Daquan Sane, request failure to appear. Markeisha Senior,
They were late reset.
Mian Shafiq, request failure to appear. Charles Shoemaker, request failure to appear. Janella Simpson, request failure to appear. Mary Slade, request failure to appear. Reginald Smith,
Conference.
Shakarna Smith,
Jury trial.
All right, are you gonna wanna speak with the public defender's office?
I'll wait.
Okay, then if you would please, step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs to come get you to sign your paperwork.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Walter Snipes, request failure to appear. Fanny Suter, request failure to appear. Kiona Spates, request failure to appear. Kennedy Spicer Fambro,
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Jonathan Stillwell, Jarvis Tate, request failure to appear.
Was there an announcement, Tate? I think it was a hiccup or something.
Terrell Ladaja,
All right, and how do you say your first name? Deja. Names are important, so that's why we ask. All right, so do you want to talk to the public? Actually, it's a seatbelt and child restraint, so it doesn't qualify. So if you will step out into the hallway, you'll sign your bench trial and your reset, and, but just don't leave until the bailiffs can talk to you. Thank you.
Christy Thaxton, request failure to appear. Parker Thaxton, request failure to appear. Kennedy Thrash, request failure to appear. Tyler Tucker, request failure to appear. Jacoby Tyson,
Bench trial.
All right, do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right, if you will step out into the hallway, please. Wait for the bailiffs, don't leave till I talk to you.
Vincent Moise, Vincent, request failure to appear. Viramontes Edgar, Viramontes, request bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Granted.
Richard Vogt, request failure to appear. James Walker,
No response.
request failure to appear. Cody Wall, request failure to appear.
All right,
D'Amica Wallace, conference.
thank you.
Was Cody what when they
No, that's okay. That's what I was gonna say. When they come in, just give us.
So James Walker was a failure to appear. Cody Wall was a failure to appear, and then D'Amica Wallace is a conference.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, and that's okay, when they come in, take a beat. We're still doing great.
Randall Worth, request failure to appear. David Waters, request failure to appear. Ashley Watkins,
Ask for a picture.
Get shot.
All right, what was the announcement?
Get shot.
Okay. Do you want to talk, you are Watkins,
Yes, sir.
Ashley Watkins?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you will come on around, you can come straight across the front of the courtroom and out into the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come talk to you.
Shatoria Watkins. Request failure to appear. Tunde Watson.
Hondi, names are important. Hondi, got it.
Tunde.
What you all don't know, because I'm not calling the calendar, is that I am really bad at butchering names. That's why she's calling you. All right, what would you like to do with your case? All right, do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
No.
All right, are you waiving the right to apply with the public defender's office? All right, if you will wait in the hallway, please, the bailiffs will come talk to you. And once they come talk to you, they'll give you the next set of instructions.
Wellmaker Shanta.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. I got a question. What was that? Can you speak to me that 30 or 30?
So if you have a conference, they'll explain that to you fully. It just gives everybody 30 days to try to pay their ticket. It's a payable ticket.
Okay.
You don't have the money today, and you don't want to go on probation, and you don't want to request a trial. It just gives you another option to try to resolve your case.
Well, I'll do the conference.
Okay, conference is, thank you.
West Davon. West. Request failure to appear. Denisha White. Request failure to appear. Zachary White. Request failure to appear. William Wiley. Request failure to appear. Wilkerson Javonta.
Conference.
Robert Williams.
Like,
All right.
Nanny Whittle. Request failure to appear. Prenicia Woods. Request failure to appear. Brianna Wright. Request failure to appear. Sherry Yarbrough Wyatt.
Oh, hold on. Brianna Wright has 2 cases. So you-
they're separate.
they're separate? Okay. So it's a failure to appear on both. But I also want to point out that is that driving without a valid license or just driving without license?
One ticket.
Sir, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
The first one, the 23 TK 4014, she was here this morning. I did just talk to her.
Ah, okay.
The
So-
second one should be the very to
Oh, it's 2 different people. Okay, I'm
Yes.
totally messing this up. This is Brianna and Brianna. 2 different people that I'm mixing together. I'm so sorry. Brianna Wright, 23 TK 414 is a conference, already had a conference and is in hand. Brianna Wright, 23 TK 3927 is a different person. They're nodding at me now, which means I've done something right. And is a failure to appear. Everybody got that? Now that I've messed it up and fixed it? Okay. I have the best team. I didn't tell you I had the best judge. Okay. Go ahead.
So Yarbrough Wyatt was not here. Okay, so request failure to appear. Avery Young.
All right, thank you. All right, couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. First of all, I was waiting for a couple of you to announce under 21. If you announced and you're under 21 and you didn't tell me that, stand up so I can mark my calendar. Okay, so I was looking for that when we did the announcements. What was your name?
Anna Kirkley.
Lots louder than that.
Kirkley.
Berkeley.
call 2 names out. I'm gonna take you downstairs so you can play Aguilar.
She's coming.
Yeah, she's coming.
And Alford. Vera.
All right, she's coming too. All right, who else is under 21? What's your name, nice and loud?
Timothy Murray.
Murray? All right, and again, we just need to know that because Georgia traffic law treats y'all differently than they do the over 21s. Otherwise, your conference is not gonna be very productive. Anybody else? Okay, so that's the under 21s.
Now we have.
Okay, and I think you had a couple of other tickets that walked in.
So we have Tiffany Kilgore.
Yeah, I would like a conference.
And y'all okay with that this morning?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
And the other one, Pepper's, did a conference.
okay.
That's the one I just got.
Perfect, thank you.
She's gonna pay.
Excellent. All right, so, last set of announcements. If you are here and I've gone through all the different announcements and your name was not called in any of those rounds, stand up for me. There's usually one or two, sometimes more. Okay, looks like we're doing in good shape here, so, okay. I had one person stand up. Did you have, was your name not called? Oh, what's your name then?
Terry.
Lots louder than that.
Terry's.
Terrence Thompson.
You got it? Okay, they're telling me they got that one. Okay, so, Ms. Tony, do you want to make the announcements or you want me to do it for you? I'm happy to do it. So, okay, so here's how this is gonna work. As you all have already seen, Mr. Shepherd is out having conferences while Ms. Tony is in here calling the calendar and keeping court moving. We finished calling the calendar, which means that everybody left here is somebody that needs, a conference. So what we're gonna do is, I'm actually gonna step off the bench for a minute to get reset because this next stage goes a whole lot faster if I step off the bench a minute and let everybody get reset. Now listen to these instructions very carefully. While I'm off the bench, there's gonna be a lot going on and the solicitor's office is gonna be calling people out those doors twice as fast as they've been calling them. The bailiffs are gonna be calling people out this doors, pretty regularly. One of you, statistically speaking, is going to volunteer to go to jail today. Let me say that one more time. One of you, statistically speaking, is going to volunteer to go to jail today. Every day when I do this, somebody during this break wanders off and doesn't come back. Every day during this moment, I don't know if it's haircut, oil change, I don't know, breakfast, but somebody wanders off and doesn't come back. The fact that I didn't have a solution for this tells you it's a major issue. Here's my solution. I issue a warrant, I set it as a no bond, so you can't get back out, and I will come see you at the jail when I get out there. So don't volunteer to be that person, but one of you will choose to do that, and I hope you won't. So here's your instructions, you ready? They're very straightforward. We're all human. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. Like, it's as simple as that. We're all human, step to the restroom and get back to your seats. But I will sign one warrant at the end of this court date for one of you who will inevitably wander off and never come back. So, with that said, it is 10:01. I'm gonna step off the bench until 10:30. That'll give you all a little bit of a head start on the conferences. When I come back on the bench, I'll start taking pleas and address whatever else is going. Erica, do y'all need anything else from me? Do y'all need anything else from me? Okay. All right, well, with that said, now, I asked you all to turn your phones off earlier. Everybody pull your phones and turn them back on. I'm gonna put these instructions that I had earlier up on the bench, up on the wall for you to follow so that when you have your conference, you have that information ready and your conference will go much faster. All right, we're in recess till 10:30. Ms. Middleton, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Saul LaValle, Angel Martinez, Brady McClendon, Jesse McMichael, Jesus Melchor, and Wykevius Middlebrooks.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a stack of pleas that are ready to be resolved, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start calling the calendar up here. As you can tell, we're heading three directions at the same time. The bailiffs are pulling people this way, solicitors pulling people this way, so from time to time, I will be interrupting your pleas so that they can come in, call names, and keep moving. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and call it Melissa Bose right here. Ms. Bose, if you'll step up to the podium. I'm sorry, but you're the guinea pig. I'm gonna show you how to do this, and everybody else is gonna follow. All right, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna place you under oath, and then walk through your rights. Are you ready? All right. If you'll raise your right hand for me, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. So if you will. All right, so if you'll lean into that microphone and speak up, because this is Miss Kathy Leach. She's taking down she's making a record of our conversation here, and that record is here to protect you. So, all right, so state your full name one more time.
Melissa Bose.
All right, Ms. Bose. So my first question is, according to my calendar, you were on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
All right, you skipped the line about the United States citizenship. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just gonna initial that and keep going. All right, so, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Ms. Bose, did you read on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you want to do on your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and that this case is going to be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me just need to pull that down. Just leave it right there. All right, so are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to the facts of your case. You are charged in that you did here in Spalding County on July 4th of 2023 in 23 TK 3054 with one count of speeding, 65 and a 35. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a no-low on any moving offense in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Are you asking me to accept this no-low for driving that occurred here in Spalding County
Yes, sir.
and resulted in this charge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna find that your request for a NOLA is proper. I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as you've negotiated it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I send this?
No, sir.
You ready? All right. Melissa Bose on 23 TK 3054 from July 4th of 2023. Count 1, speeding, 65 and a 35. I'm gonna grant your NOLA. It's 12 months probation, $602 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If in the next 30 days you pay $30 plus your fine in full to sentence enforcement, then your case will close with no probation conditions. If you're unsuccessful, then 31 days from today, your probation will begin. You'll be required to complete the following. You may then work off your fines with community service work if you make it that far. You'll need to show a valid license for probation. You'll have no drugs, alcohol, or illegal substances, or hemp products will be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, and a $25 intake fee. Your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then Ms. Yarborough is going to take your paperwork, walk you out, and have you go meet with sentence enforcement. Thank you. If you'll head out those doors back behind you. There we go. All right, next case is Beeching.
His dad comes in.
Sure. Understand your dad is here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, he's coming in. I'm gonna grab something off my desk. You can come up. How old are you?
18.
Ready, Dad? Okay. All right, I'm just gonna have both of you raise your right hands, in case you say something. So both of you raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. Do.
All right, state your full name for me, sir.
Brody Beeching.
All right, and your dad, what's your name?
Todd Beach.
All right, Mr. Beeching. All right, so, Brody Beeching, you said you're 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have the most serious case that appears on this calendar. In fact, it's usually so serious it appears on the bonded calendar. But you've met with the solicitor's office and they've made a recommendation to me. But I just need you to know, before we jump into this and get too far, that, this is going to have a significant impact on your future, both for insurance purposes and licensing purposes, and obviously you'll have a conviction on your criminal history. Are you aware of all of that?
Yes, sir.
You're aware that you're gonna have a significant time where you're not gonna have a license?
Yes, sir.
All right, and, all right, well, let's jump in, and if, you have any questions, and then Dad, if you have any questions at any moment, just raise your hand, and I'll be happy to stop and answer them. So, all right, so, you were on time for court this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here, on the document, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you are here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to represent yourself for this plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case is going to be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you just have you initialed the line and said you weren't, but I understand that. Okay, so, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Beeching, you are charged with one count of fleeing. And that you did here in Spalding County back on October 1st of 2023, did flee and attempt to elude a law enforcement officer, Officer Wyatt, while receiving visible and audible signals that you should stop and pull over in an appropriate stopping sequence for that officer. Did you do that?
No, sir.
Do what?
No, sir.
You did not? Okay. All right, well then what I'm gonna do then is, I'm gonna reset your case to a trial calendar. Between here and there, you can, apply with the public defender's office if you, are you expecting to enter a plea right now?
Well, what do you mean by that, Steve?
This made it to me that you had a conference with, I'm just confused. This made it to me that you had a conference with the solicitor's office and that you wanted to resolve your case with a plea today. Is that correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay, so, the short answer is that I have two options at this moment because you denied it, which is perfectly fine. Let me just be very clear. It's perfectly okay to say, I didn't do this. But if you, I said, did you do this? And you said no.
Oh, I totally misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Okay, so, all right, well, let me just ask the question again. So that fact that I read out about not stopping for a law enforcement officer with audible and visible signals, did you do that?
Did I stop for the police officer?
Did you fail to stop? Did you
Yes.
flee and attempt to elude
Yes.
law enforcement
Yes,
in a
yes,
marked vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you fled and attempted to elude an officer in a marked vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're on the same page. And again, if you want to say you didn't do it, that's perfectly okay. I'm happy to reset you for another court date. So I just want to make certain that's clear, that I don't have a preference how this story is.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Beeching, I'm going to find, now that we've cleared that up, with your admission of guilt, that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as it's been negotiated. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, Dad, do you have any questions that I can answer for you?
No, sir.
All right. Here we go. Mr. Beecham, as to 23 TK 4620 from October 1st of 2023, I am going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. Again, I reviewed the recommendation and I'm going to follow it as you have negotiated it. I'm trying to find out exactly what the suspension will be so that you're prepared for it. Yes, I'll have some. There it is. It's gonna end up being a 6-month suspension with no permit. According to the manual, that's not my order, I'm just saying, by operation of Georgia law, that's what's gonna happen next. Okay. All right, the sentence of the court then is as follows. As to 23 TK 4620 from October 1st of 23, count 1 fleeing, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $750 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months probation. Count 2 is dismissed. You are to get your Georgia driver's license back. You shall not consume any alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You will be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Once you have satisfied your obligations, allow your case to close. Before that happens, you will need to additionally complete 20 hours of community service work, as well as a defensive driving school. You have 30 days from today. If you wish to appeal this decision, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. You remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Dad?
No, sir.
Okay. This is a tough day for y'all. This is a serious charge and it's gonna change your future. I hope this is gonna be part of your story that you talk about many years from now and say that was a wake-up call and that you're gonna make better decisions moving forward.
Of course.
Okay. All right, please don't see me again while you're on probation other than in Walmart or just out and about town, okay? All right, thank you very much. Michelle Rose gonna walk you out.
Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Levens.
All right, everybody, let's come back to order now that we got that group sorted. Julia Jackson, please come forward. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll remove that down. That's for short folks like me and tall folks like you, so. All right, state your full name for me, please.
Julia Jackson.
All right, Ms. Jackson, you're here on 23 TK 4678. And according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom? And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your, I'm holding out this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm missing, have you met with sentence enforcement yet back there?
Yes.
Okay, there's usually a paper attached to this.
She didn't, talk about my citation.
No, it's a write sheet that probation sends in that tells me they've met with you. I'm just gonna keep going forward because you're telling me you've met with them and
Yes, sir.
typed in your information on the iPad. And there's also a reasonable chance that I've just messed it up. So, I might wear this robe, but that does not make me perfect. So thanks. I may have clipped it somewhere else. All right, so we're just gonna keep moving forward. Do you understand you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, any questions I can answer for you about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right, so, over here on You were charged with one count of speeding 95 and a 70 from October 4th of 2023 here in Spalding County. You want to do a no load plea on that, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You'll have it. Let's go off record. You'll have it signed real quick. Does that document look familiar to you?
Same.
Probation's gonna get it. We're not. I'm just trying to get started. Yeah, all the rest of them have that. So, yeah, all the rest of them have attached. Yeah, they'll go over there. So this way at least. Okay, so let's go back on record. All right, everybody, let's come back to order. So when you get back to probation, just tell them that you got in here without having one of these, and I just had you sign it in the courtroom, and that way they can review it with you.
Okay.
Well, excuse me, for the first time. All right, so Ms. Jackson, you want to use a no load, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on October 4th of 2023 and results in this charge of speeding 95 and 70. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find that your request for a no load is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it as it's been negotiated. Do you have any questions or wish for me to know anything else before I move forward with the sentence?
No, sir.
All right, here we go. Julia Jackson on 23 TK 4678 from October 4th of 23. Count 1, speeding 95 and a 70. Your no load is granted. It's 12 months probation. $556 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation being ordered. However, if you're unsuccessful, 31 days from now, your case will automatically convert to probation, at which point you may then work your fine off with community service work if you wish. You'll need to obtain or show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Okay. Then I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Yarborough. She's going to walk you out to sentence enforcement. You meet with them. You'll head back through those double doors.
That's how I would do it.
All right, next case is racket. This looks good. All right, if you will please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and say your full name for me.
My name's Joey Brackett.
Mr. Brackett, you're here on 23 TK 4149, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1
Yes, sir.
and page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Sure is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are charged with 1 count of speeding, 70 and a 55. Did you, here in Spalding County, on September 4th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at 70 to 55?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow them according to the terms you have negotiated. Let's go off record and let Ms. Middleton call the next round because we don't want to slow her down.
Thank you. This is another that we pay. I'll put it in there. Do I need to give it to her?
Yeah, give it to me and I'll sign it. And then they'll take it.
And then I can call names if that's okay. Okay, if I call your name, if you'll meet me out in the, with the double doors. Reginald Smith, Kennedy Spicer Fambro, Jonathan Stillwell, Terrace Thompson, D'Amica Wallace, Shanta Wellmaker, Javante Wilkerson, and Avery Young. And that's you.
Is there anyone else here waiting for their conference whose name was not called? Okay, we've learned the hard way to ask that question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like, okay. All right, everybody, let's come back to order. Mr. Brackett, any questions before I sentence?
Not at all, sir.
All right, here we go. Joey Brackett on 23 TK 4149 from September 4th of 2023. Count 1, speeding, 70 and a 55. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. $195 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you participate in our 30 by 30 program and pay $30 plus your fine in full, your case will close with no probation at all. 31 days from today, if you're unable to, 31 days from today, if you're unable to successfully get your case closed by paying the fine off, your probation will begin, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show your valid license probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. You'll be able to go to phone report. Do you live out of the area or something?
Yes, sir. I live near Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay. And your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions about anything that I can answer for you?
No, sir. That'd be it.
All right, Mr. Phillips is gonna walk you out those double doors back there and have you go meet with probation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, Christina Carney. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, take me down, state your full name for me.
I'm Christina Carney.
Ms. Carney, you are here today on 23 TK 4140, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, I did.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
Not at this time.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document I'm holding up?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir, I do.
Question. All right, are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, they are.
Page 2?
Yes, they are.
Is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir, I did.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, I did.
Did you see on here as well as hear me say that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, I do.
and you're here representing yourself?
I am.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir, I do.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, before I pivot to the facts of your case, are there any questions about the rights or anything else we've covered so far?
No, there's not, sir.
You are 21 years of age or older.
I certainly have.
Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir, I have not.
And you want to use it for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on August 19th of 23 and resulted in a suspended license charge?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir, there's not.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Christina Carney on 23 TK 4140 from August 19th of 2023. Suspended license, NOLO, 12 months probation, $454 is your fine. You may work that off with community service work. There'll be a $50, you may work that off with community service work. The solicitor's office is recommending that I waive the driver's license reinstatement requirements, therefore I'm following the recommendation and waiving that requirement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
I was under the impression that he wasn't going to place me on probation, that
I have to. So Georgia law, there's only 2 traffic violations that, for this calendar purposes, that require probation by law. It's suspended license, which you have here, and valid license. Now, what he's done is, he set you up with probation, but you're terminated upon completion. So you're only on probation as long as it takes you to check the box. But sorry for the confusion, but I am required by law to place you on probation for at least 2 days
that's what he said.
on this.
Okay.
So it says 12 months, but it's terminated upon completion, and we're waiving the license requirement. So
I understand.
it's clearly their intention for you to be able to close your probation quickly. Is that acceptable?
That is very acceptable.
Okay,
I
and that was a
understand
good question
completely.
too, by the way, so I get that question a lot. All right, well then, do you need anything else from me before we part ways?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, Ms. Yarbrough's gonna walk you out those double doors and have you meet with sentence enforcement, and best of luck to you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, you too. That's Ms. Carney. Diaz? Oh, cool. Hold on, I have something.
Now they get more pen, paper, than color. They wanna give them something.
The judge went to get him something, actually.
Everywhere we go.
Good morning.
You got this. Here, I'm gonna give him my pen. And there's one.
You got Mother Margaret there with them.
Thank you, sir.
You're not the first one to bring your adorable kids to court. So courts and kids don't normally mix, but we do our best. So luckily, I've got the greatest bailiffs in the state of Georgia who are phenomenal with kids. Because obviously, if you had somewhere else, so so I just want you to know that we're here to meet you where you're at.
I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and they are adorable.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody ready? All right, ready? All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Madai Diaz.
All right, and Ms. Diaz, I'm here today on 23 TK 4016. According to my calendar, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
She was in
Did
the
you hear
wrong
the-
court, but she
I was in the wrong court.
was that city court on
Yeah.
time.
Around the corner.
Okay, that happens. So, so let me say that. Let me pivot just a little bit then and say, did you hear the rights I read out see the PowerPoint?
Yes, Your Honor, they told me it's the same as what they did in the other courtroom.
Okay, well, what I'll do then is I'm actually gonna skip that one, and I'm just gonna pivot straight to this self-represented defendant plea waiver. I'm sure Judge Howell did a great job, but I don't have his transcript, so we gotta do this based off of this transcript, so. Okay, well, let's jump here. I'm holding this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
Because you understood what's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions, no matter how small, that I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you are here representing yourself?
Yes.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see why you went to the city of Griffin. Your charges were originally from the city of Griffin.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The paper I had didn't have an address on it.
That's okay. I just figured all that out. All right, so any questions about your rights or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right. Did you, here in Spalding County on April 14th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 49 miles an hour and a 35 mile an hour zone?
Correct. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it exactly the way you negotiated. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Diaz, on 23 TK 4016 from April 14th of 2023, as to speeding 49 and a 35, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 184 is your fine. I am going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you pay $30 plus your fine in full, then your case will close with no probation conditions. If you're unsuccessful, your probation will begin 31 days from today and will then require you to complete the following. Well, first thing I'll say is if at that point you have not resolved it, you may then work off your fine with community service work. You will need to show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee. $25 one-time intake fee. And your case will still close the moment you're satisfied with those obligations, if you get that one. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember reading about habeas? That's that weird old law where you sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge the conviction. Do you remember reading about that on the right sheet, right there where I'm pointing? All right, yes? All right,
Yes.
we have to do yeses and nos. All right, do you need anything from me before you and I part ways?
No, sir, I cannot.
All right, your kids are welcome to take pads, highlighters, and pens with them, and as y'all move over to the next station. So with that said, y'all are gonna head out those doors and go meet with Senate enforcement.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you.
Let's go, boys.
Best bailiffs in the state of Georgia. Okay, Kelly Harris. Is there having to stand up?
It's only 2 seats for them, just do it.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
If you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Kelly Harris.
All right, and Mr. Harris, I show that you were on time for court this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights and read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it.
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Mr. Harris, did you see on here as well as hear me say that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you, you are charged with one count of operating, I think these are marked backwards. They are. Give me just a second. Okay. You are charged with count 2, a reduced charge of operating a motor vehicle on an expired tag. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that here in Spalding County on September 30th, 2023?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, this is a reduced charge of expired tag, that there's enough for you to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as you have negotiated it. Anything you wish to tell me before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. Here we go. As to 23 TK 4634 from September 30th of 2023, Kelly Harris, as to count 2, the reduced charge of expired tag, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, a fine of $158. Count 1 is dismissed. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you were to pay your fine in full plus $30 in our 30 for 30 program, then your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from now, your probation will begin. You'll be given the opportunity at that point, if you wish, to work off your fine with community service work. You'll need to show your valid license to probation. No alcohol and illegal drugs or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. And your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions about anything that I can answer for you before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much then. I'm going to have you head back out those double doors with Ms. Yarborough, and good luck to you. All right, next case is Glendon. Dwayne, how many chairs do you think they need? That's all they need? Well, I can make that. Oh, come on. Okay, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name.
Brady McClendon.
All right, and Mr. McClendon, you're here on 23 TK 2351.
Yes.
Am I correct that you were on time for court today?
Yes.
All right, and did you hear the rights and read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No.
And you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant pay rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me just a minute. I'll check something. Okay. I'm actually gonna be able to do this on the, tickets. I don't need the census sheet, so, it's a NOLA, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, moving forward through the facts, are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on any moving violation?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept your NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on May 29th of 2023 and resulted in this charge of speeding 78 and 55?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation. I'm going to follow it. In fact, I'm going to improve on it just a little bit. Anything you want me to know, or any questions that you have before I send it?
No, sir.
Okay. So it's no secret that I'm a sucker for folks dressing up for court as if they're going to church or temple or worship. You have worn a coat today, which is a really big deal to the court. Therefore, I'm going to be reducing your fine by $100, as the base fine of your case was $100. I've taken the sentence probation part off, I've moved it over to the tickets, and I've marked it as zero. So that coat was worth $100. So, and just to prove my point, I went to Goodwill last weekend to see how much it would cost to buy appropriate church clothes. And I bought a tie for $1, a shirt for $3, and a belt for $1. So for the cost of a McDonald's Happy Meal, somebody could easily save $100. So thank you for dressing up for court today. It was my pleasure to reduce your fine to zero.
Thank
you. No, he's free to go. You can get a copy if you want. Yeah, they get on to me when I let folks walk forward. All right, Tiffany Kilgore. Okay, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Tiffany Chris Kilgore.
All right, Ms. Kilgore, you are here today on 23 TK 5636. You were not on the calendar, but I think that was just a clerical thing. Because everybody seemed to be looking for you. So.
No, it was, I think the officer that gave me my ticket decided to try to have it, changed because we had some things happen afterwards, and I think I just was a lucky candidate for that.
Okay.
But
I
I was here.
see the handwriting where it originally said December 5th and then it was scratched out
Yeah.
January 16th. But you're here today
Yes, sir.
and you want to go ahead and resolve your case today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So according to my calendar and my memory, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
And Kathy, just to say it again, this is Tiffany, Tiffiny.
Correct.
Last name Kilgore, Kilgore. Her case is 23 TK 5636. All right, I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I
Do
do.
you recognize this is the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
Because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you a commercial motor vehicle operator?
Yes, sir, I am.
So you are the holder of a CMV commercial motor vehicle operator's license?
I have a Class BM, yes, sir.
Do what?
A Class BM, yes, sir. Class B CDL with a motorcycle permit as well. Zero points on my license prior to this situation.
Well, that's what I'm trying to sort out is what, if any, impact this would have on your commercial license.
If it goes the route that, the solicitor and I spoke with, it's gonna be 3 points, and a fine. If it goes a different route, which I did bring documentation and proof that I had no acknowledgement of the, citation of the disqualified license, that would actually suspend me for a year, which would take away from my kids.
Okay, and what you've just described is exactly the way the solicitor just wrote it up, so.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure you're okay here. I just wanted to say I'm not 100% certain, and that's what I'm just being very careful, so. Okay, I think what you're describing sounds about right, but that'll be between you and DDS.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes, I'm hoping and praying it doesn't
Well,
change any differently because, like I
Well,
said, this
I'm
is
up
my
here-
way of living, so.
I'm up here looking at the Department of Driver Services Traffic Manual, which is what us judges use when we're trying to sort these things out. And I don't see, of course, I see a suspension on count 2, but that's about to be dismissed. And so I do not see a suspension related to count 1, which is the left lane.
It just takes three points.
That's all I show. So, okay, well, we're on the same page then. We don't bump into this a lot, and we're to just be very careful and make certain that
It was a
What
sad
you thought-
situation.
what you thought and what I thought were the same thing, so. Okay, well,
Can we request for Spalding County to put a sign up
you
for
certainly,
that left lane?
you certainly can, so, you can reach out to, your commissioner and let them know that they need to put a sign up, so. I do not direct them where to put their signs. Okay, Ms. Kilgore, so I'm gonna ask you, did you here in Spalding County on October 30th of 2023, as to count 1 only, operate your motor vehicle, your commercial motor vehicle, with more than 6 wheels, in the left lane?
Yes, sir, I did go
Okay.
around the vehicle and get in the left lane.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, the sentence of the court then is as follows. Tiffany Kilgore on 23 TK 5636, from October 30th of 2023, trucks in the left lane, which is 40-6-52B. We'll find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 306 is your fine, count 2 is dismissed, which is what you were saying you needed. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay $30 plus your fine in full during that time, your case will close with no probation conditions. If you're unsuccessful, then 31 days from now, your probation will begin, at which point you can work your fine off with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for them. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 monthly supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfied your obligations. You do not show any special conditions. All right. You have 30 days from today, if you're Appeals, and 6 months on that. Any questions about anything before you and I part ways?
I've already done the computer thing over there. Is there anything else I need to do over there? Or?
Yes, you're gonna go back and have a short conversation with them. You
Okay.
did the long part, now we're gonna be doing the short part.
No problem, thank you.
All right, if you'll head out those doors and,
One more thing, they said you just didn't sign that.
yeah.
They said you didn't sign that.
I had my church clothes on too.
It did say, for sure.
It was a joke.
So. But it was a t-shirt. Can't blame her for asking. All right, Moody? Well, Mr. Shepherd just came in, and he's changed the plea so that I can move it back into those original terms that were requested. So we're gonna go back to the original agreement, okay? All right. So did you, here in Spalding County, operate your motor vehicle on April 21st, 2023, while your license was expired?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. The sentence of the court is I'm sorry, it's a no load. Now, let's not waste your no load on that. All right, as to the expired license, 12 months probation, 454. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you the chance to pay your fine in full, plus $30 to close your case with no probation. If you're not successful, 31 days from now, your probation will start. You could then work your fine off with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy those obligations to court. Do you understand your sentence?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
All right, then I'm gonna pass you off to Mr. Richards, who is gonna walk you out. Put a couple on top. Well, it's just like, there's like three, so grab the top three. And I'll keep going. You got a lot of moving parts today, it's okay. Okay, all right.
If you got the doors there, I'll meet you in the hallway. Thank God, these doors.
All right, Pope.
Bye.
All right, is it Rontavious?
Yeah.
All right, if you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Rontavious Boone.
All right, Mr. Pope, you're here on 23 TK 3557. According to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights are read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that's put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand it? You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
That by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Pope, you want to do a no-load plea, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you used a no-load plea on a moving violation in the last 5 years? Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And have you, are you wanting to use your no-load for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on July 25th of 2023 and resulted in this speeding 64 and a 35 charge?
Yes.
All right, I am going to find that your request for a no-load is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence? All right, you ready? Okay. Mr. Pope, on 23 TK 3557 from July 25th of 2023, speeding 64 and a 35, no-load, 12 months, $750 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you participate in our 30 for 30 program, you'll pay $30 plus your fine and your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from now, if your case is not closed, you will begin your probation, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work. You'll need to show your valid driver's license to probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
All right, Ms. Yarbrough's gonna walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with probation. Good luck to you. Murray? Yeah, just. All right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Timothy Murray.
All right, Mr. Murray, you're here on 23 TK 4187, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court this morning, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your, I gotta stand up. Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, Mr. Murray, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Mr. Murray, do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case is going to be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Mr. Murray, I understand you are under 21, is that correct?
Yes.
I need to warn you that before we get to the end of this plea, that if you successfully complete this plea, Georgia law will cause a suspension of your driver's license for 6 months. Hard suspension, no permit. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Understanding that, do you still wish to go forward with this plea?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make certain that's not a surprise to you. All right, Mr. Murray, did you here in Spalding County, back on August 26th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 65 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in during this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as negotiated. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, and I need to say for the record, I did just check to see if I could authorize a permit. I'm not allowed to authorize a permit, so that door is closed to you as well. Okay, I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. You ready for me to sentence?
Yes.
All right. Timothy Murray on 23 TK 4187 from August 26th of 2023. I am going speeding 65 and a 25. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. $750 is your fine. You can work off your fine with community service work. You need to show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hidden products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court, but you have some special conditions, which is that you need to complete a defensive driving school. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Mr. Murray, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
All right, Mr. Rich is gonna walk out those double doors. Best of luck. All right, Wallace. Come on up, please. Oh, yeah, we want it. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
D'Amico Shakira Wallace.
All right, and Ms. Wallace, you were here today on 23 TK 3598. According to my calendar, you are on time for court, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you hear the rights of that after the courtroom? You can see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Wallace, you are wanting to use a NOLO, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find, and you want to use it for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on July 27th of 2023 and results in a suspended license charge.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm gonna grant it. I'm
Okay.
gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it as negotiated. Any questions about anything so far?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Mhm.
All right. Ms. Wallace, on 23 TK 3598 from July 27th of 23, count 1, suspended license. Grant your NOLO, it's 12 months probation, 602 is your fine. That's 12 months total probation. Count 2 is dismissed. You may work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and, I'm so sorry. Well, I can't. So
You're
you
on.
originally thought of it, I just realized that you were trying to do the 30 by 30 program.
What was her charge?
It was suspended license.
Yeah.
It's still terminated upon
Yeah,
completion.
you can do that.
So, Miss
I did the same thing.
Wallace, the only thing I can't do is, I can't do the 30 by 30 because with the suspended license, I have to put you on probation, but it's terminated upon completion. So instead of delaying it by 30 days, it'll go ahead and start, but it's still closed upon completion. Take a moment and think that through and see if that's okay with you.
Is it possible, because I can pay on Thursday. So is it a way for me to just get my court date rescheduled and then, because I don't really want to go on probation at all.
Well, suspended license by law requires probation. So any conviction, no low or guilty, would require probation, but it's still terminate upon completion. So just factor that in before you make your final
You
decision.
show up with your money and you're done.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to show up with probation to pay your money on the 30 for 30 anyway, so it's not changing the whole legal plot.
So do you have
but
your
if I
license
was-
reinstated?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well then
Yeah, my license is reinstated.
you should be able to close it at your first report date. Again, I just want you to know what your options are.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
But if I was ready to pay today, I wouldn't have to go on probation, correct?
No, that's not correct.
That's not
That's
correct.
Georgia, that's right, and that's what I'm trying to clarify, is that
Okay.
Georgia law, there's only 2 traffic charges in this court for this calendar that require probation by law.
Okay.
Suspended license and driving without a valid license. Those are the only 2 that don't qualify for the 30 by 30. We were moving really fast, I marked a couple, and I think they marked a couple by mistake, we're catching them and fixing them. And unfortunately, yours is one of the ones where we checked the box saying we could do something for you that we can't do.
Okay.
So the short answer is you're still, from what you're telling me, you're still gonna be able to close your case really at your first report date. Maybe even today, but that's between you and the probation office, how quickly they can process your paperwork.
Okay.
So, okay, now that we've talked it through, what do you wanna do? You want me to finish? You want me to reset you? What do you wanna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on probation either way, so I'll go ahead and start it now so I can pay.
Okay, and I'll be very careful and say, obviously, if you went to trial and found a not guilty verdict from the jury, you would not have to go on probation at all, and your case would be closed.
Yes, sir.
And you
I
still have-
understand that.
You still have that option until I take it away in just a minute. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then, I'm just gonna continue on, that your case will close the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court.
Okay.
Okay, Any questions about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
All right, then I'm going to say that that concludes the sentence. I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Yarborough. She is going to walk you out and have you go meet the sentence enforcement.
Okay.
So, thank you. All right, next case, Pembroke. All right. There you go. Please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Kennedy Spicer Fambro.
All right, Ms. Spicer Pembroke, you're here today on 23 TK 1977. You were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No.
You passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Mhm.
Oh, we gotta do yeses and nos. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. You're not in trouble. It's just my job is to help you make a good record to protect yourself.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So that's okay. All right. So did you understand you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
And do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Now, did you? No, it's a NOLO. Or have you used a NOLO on a moving violation within the last 5 years?
No.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on May 1st of 2023 and result in this charge of 102 and a 70?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper. It is negotiated, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation. I'm going to follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
I just had a separate question. I was told the 750 plus the 30 for the 30 days, but then also a 200 for state fees. Is that included in the 750 or is that on top of everything?
That is on top of that. So what I don't get into those much because they get people really confused. So my numbers here are the numbers I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Because you've asked, I'm going to tell you that there's another fee that will come directly from the state of Georgia that you will pay back directly to the state of Georgia that will never pass through my world.
Okay.
And so that's called the super speeder fee, and I can't do anything about that.
I understand.
So, but people get really confused when I start talking about it because they keep trying to put it on this paperwork and it doesn't appear on this paperwork.
Okay.
So, okay. That's a good question. Anything else? Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Fambro, you ready for me to sentence?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Fambro, on 23 TK 1977 from May 1st of 23, speeding 102 and a 70, I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, 750 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close. 31 days from today, if your case is not closed, your probation begins automatically, at which point you may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show a valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, are there any questions about anything I can answer for you?
No, sir.
All right, well, thank you, Ms. Fambro. If you will step out those doors with Ms. Richards. Okay, Thompson. I have 3 left.
I know I screwed up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, weed out here.
He's left. Sorry, I was trying to sit down. I made a mess. All right, you are Terrace Thompson.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you were here with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If y'all will both please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. And state your full name for me.
Terry Thompson.
All right. And you're here with him as?
Akeisha Favors, his mother.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just call you Mom moving forward, if that's all right.
Yes.
All right. So so if you have any questions and favors, just raise your hand and I'll answer. Okay. All right, Mr. Thompson, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
No, he's in the hallway.
You're in the hallway. Well, then I'm going to pivot straight forward to this document here. Do you recognize this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver that I'm holding up?
Yeah.
All right. Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yeah.
And we got to do yeses and nos. So,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Are these your initials here on page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Mr. Thompson, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you? You have that right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you understand that you're here, like your mom's standing beside you, but I assume she's not an attorney. Okay, because you didn't do an entry. So you're here representing yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to a trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And that if you want it, and that by entering this plea, there will be no jury trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Did you, here in Spalding County, back on August 29th of 2023, fail to, no, it's a NOLO. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on any moving violation? On any moving violation?
No, sir.
All right. Then the new charge of expired license is not reported to the Department of Driver Services. With your permission, I'm gonna move that over to a guilty so you don't burn a NOLO on something you don't need it on. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are gonna keep the NOLO and the failure to maintain lane. Is that what you want me to allow you to use as your NOLO on the count 1, the failure to maintain lane?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then did you operate your motor vehicle on that same date with an expired license?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find that with count 1, the failure to maintain lane, your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. Count 2, the expired license, I'm going to find you guilty. And I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, not find you guilty. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving these rights and entering these pleas. I reviewed the recommendation. I'm going to follow it. Any questions about anything we've covered so far?
No, sir.
Mom, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Terrence Thompson on 23 TK 4199 from August 29th to 23, count 1, failure to maintain lane. Your NOLO is granted. It's 12 months probation, 158 is your fine. Count 2 is reduced to expired license, guilty, 12 months, 380 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from now, your probation begins automatically if it's still open, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show your valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, and a $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you, either of you, about anything?
No, sir.
Okay, you're all good. All right, Ms. Yarborough's gonna walk you out, and you go meet with sentence enforcement, and best of luck to you.
Jesus afternoon's calendar, so one was not going
And obviously, we're always pushing into the lunch hour, which makes for,
Gotta get them done.
I know, we'll figure it out. All right, well, Maker. I have 2 left.
Gotta put it like that on you. Way up there.
All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Hi, Shantae Wellmaker.
All right, Ms. Wellmaker, you are here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that were read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, I am, sir.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed?
Yes,
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Moving forward to the facts of your case, it's a NOLO. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And you're asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on October 11th of 23, and results in this charge of following too closely.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering the plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it as negotiated. Any questions I can answer for you about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Wellmaker, on 23 TK 4854 from October 11th of 23, following too closely, your NOLO is granted. It's 12 months probation. 306 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, then your case will close during that period of time.
Okay.
31 days from now, if your case is still open, probation begins automatically, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show a valid license to probation. You'll be tested for drugs, alcohol, and hemp products. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions that I can answer for you, ma'am, about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, well, thank you very much. I'm going to pass
Thank
you
you.
off to Mr. Richards, and he's going to walk you out to meet with the sentence enforcement team. All right. Last plea, Young. Okay, you're Avery Young?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Young, as a factor, I just want you to know, I hear you as far as being called last every time somebody does something alphabetically. So just want you to know my
I'm
heart
used
is
to it
with
my
you.
whole entire life.
I
Graduations and everything, I was literally last.
I keep threatening to do it backwards, but I can't keep it straight in my head. So,
I'm an S and she's a T and he's a T.
Yeah.
We feel your pain.
yeah, it's good. So, yeah, oh, Yarborough, yeah.
Yarborough,
So, okay, so, all right, Mr. Young, you are on time for court today, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, Your Honor.
page 2,
Yes, Your Honor.
and is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, Your Honor.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Young, did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
That's correct.
And you're here representing yourself, is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Young, you are charged now, you want to do NOLO. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, Your Honor.
Are you asking me to accept your NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on September 13th of 23, and resulted in this speeding charge of 74, a reduced charge of 74 and 45.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna find that with, your request for an LO is proper, and I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights during this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way you negotiated it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, Your Honor.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Avery Young on 23 TK 4613 from September 13th of 2023 as to count one speeding 74 and a 45 and granting you no load. It's 12 months of probation, $750 is your fine. That's 12 months of total probation. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 for the program, your case will close with no probation. 31 days from now, if your case is still open, probation begins automatically, at which point you may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You will be required to get a valid license or show a valid license probation. Be tested for drugs, alcohol, and hemp products and have none of those in your system. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document? Anything we've done before we part ways?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Avery, if you'll walk out that way, and they'll have you go meet with the sentence enforcement team.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I have a stack of denial process I'll sign. It's 12:31. I just want to say, great job. Moving a lot of people through here. I'm amazed and very grateful. Issue the warrants, forfeit the cash bonds. We're adjourned until 1:30.